Hello and welcome to another edition of Your Geometry Notes, starring me, Mr. Butterbaugh, and featuring you, all the students watching this. Let's get started. Today's notes are titled 2-3 Triangle and Polygon Angles. We'll start with our triangle angle sum theorem. We should already know what the triangle angle sum is, and remember the theorem is something that we can prove using facts that are already presented to us. So the triangle angle sum theorem states that the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. So if we're given a triangle, no matter what that triangle looks like, we have three angles, angles 1, 2, and 3. And this would tell us that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 would be equal to 180 degrees. We can always write this statement. If we start with this statement when we're solving triangles, we can always fill in the values that we have for each angle in for this and be able to solve for one that's missing or solve for a variable. For example, find the missing measure. Okay, I'm going to call this angle X here. It's got a question mark on there. Well, I can know that from this, with my triangle angle sum theorem, X plus 42 plus 94 would be equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so I can solve for X. If I combine 42 and 94, I get 136. So X plus 136 would be equal to 180. Subtract that 136 over, so X is equal to 44. So therefore the missing angle is 44 degrees. Okay, take it one step further. If we have more than one variable, if we want to find more than this, find the value of X and the measure of each angle here. There's already one angle that I know the measure of. With that box, I know that is 90 degrees. So I'm going to find the measure of both these angles here. Well, all three angles I know add to 180, so I can just simply write this then, that 90 plus that X plus 49 plus that X plus 59 is equal to 180 degrees. So I can solve for X. I've got two of them on the same side of the equation, so that gives me 2X. And then I've got a 90 plus a 49 plus 59, and that would give me 198. I've already done these calculations ahead of time to save time. If you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. All right, then I'm going to subtract 198 from both sides. It's gone there, so therefore 2x is equal to negative 18, which is left over. If I have 180 and I take away 198, I'm in the hole 18 points, so negative 18. Divide by the 2. So the value of X is negative 9. Again, I can have a negative value for X. It simply means that when I plug it back in, it should work out as such. So if X is negative 9, then I can plug it back in. Negative 9 plus 49 would give me a value of 40 degrees. Negative 9 plus 59 would give me a value of 50 degrees. Double check that. 90, 40, and 50, all three equal to 180. So I know I did that example correct. Let me stop here and remind you that your notes should look exactly like my notes. If you did not get any one of these examples, please go back and pause the video when I'm going through it and make sure you get this exactly down. Also, do not forget the WSQ at the end. Okay, I've got a page 2 that goes over our polygon angle sum theorem. We have done an exploration in class. If you were not here for that day in class, make sure you get what we did in class. It's a very good exploration that shows us how we get these formulas. And these examples are just built upon that. First, the polygon angle sum theorem states that the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a polygon with n sides, and n just stands for any number. So any number of sides, no matter how big or how small, is always that n minus 2 times 180. And we found this by drawing triangles inside of polygons. And we found that the number of triangles that can be formed inside of any polygon is always 2 less than the number of sides. So if I subtract the 2 from the number of sides, that'll give me the number of triangles formed, and then each triangle has a sum of 180 in it. So that number times 180 gets me the sum of the measures of the interior angles of any polygon. Example 3. Find the measure of angle Y. I'm going to call it X, just so I can solve for it. Okay, I first need to know that this polygon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. It's called a pentagon. So I can find the sum of the measures of the interior angles of this pentagon by saying 5 minus 2 times 180. I'm sorry, because n in this case is equal to 5. N, number of sides, 5. So 5 minus 2 times 180 is going to give me 3 times 180. And I know that that is equal to 540. So the sum of all the angles is 540 degrees. Then I need to go through, and again, I have boxes here. So I know this is 90 degrees for T, and 90 degrees for V, and it says 135 degrees there. So if I add up all those angles together, it's equal to 540. Okay, so here we go. I've got X plus the 90 plus 135 plus another 90 plus the last 90, that is equal to 540 degrees. So I can solve for X if I combine all my like terms on the same side of the equation. 90, 135, 90, 90 is going to get me 405. So X plus 405 is now equal to 540. Subtract that 405 from both sides, so I'm left over with X is 135, and so the value of this angle is 135 degrees. Also see that those are congruent there. It didn't tell us that, but we found that it was true. Last thing for our notes, the Polygon exterior angle sum theorem. This again is something we found, that the sum of the measures of the exterior angles of any polygon is always 360 degrees. Any polygon, always 360. Let me draw you an example of this. If I have a triangle, okay, let's say this has 80 degrees, and I have 36 degrees, and then 54 degrees. Nope, 64 degrees, I think. All equals 180, 64 degrees. Okay? The exterior angle is found by taking one side and extending it. And if I extend this direction, I can extend all of my angles the same way. They're all going that way, kind of. I think about it kind of clockwise. So if my angle inside the triangle is 80 degrees, the direct angle outside is 100, because I know they're supplementary. If I've got 36 degrees, then my angle outside is 144. Subtract the 36 from 180. And then if I take 180 minus 64, I will get 116. Right? So then I can take all three of these angles, 100 plus 144 plus 116, and that should be equal to 360. Let's double check it. So I've got 100 plus 144 plus 116 is 360. And I use a calculator just to make things faster for us. All right, so double check that again. This is a triangle. It'll work for any polygon that we use, and we have more examples in class. Again, do not forget your WSQ. Fill that out to get your credit for these notes, and have a wonderful day.